So we are here today. My name is Tyler Wise. I'm joined by Michaela Coates, Uriah Ford, and Matt Guido. Here to talk about Elevance Health and a little bit of background about them, their current financial performance and history over the past few years, and a 5-year strategy plan where we outline 2 potential recommendations for the company later on in the presentation. To start us off, what used to be known as Anthem is now Elevance Health. It was founded in 1944, has gone through several mergers and acquisitions since their inception in 1944. Anthem's name became the most prominent in 1985 after the merger into Associated Insurance Companies. And so along the way, more acquisitions like WellPoint, Integra Managed Care, and then after 2022 with the Integra Managed Care acquisition, they decided to change their corporate name to Elevance Health. And as you can see here, largest for-profit managed healthcare company in the Blue Cross Blue Shield Association. Won't go through the company mission here, but essentially just serving as many people as they can with a full range of needs. I'll pass over to Uriah for corporate structure.
Boom. So looking at the corporate structure for Elevance Health, Elevance really operates the three primary segments: their commercial and specialty business, their government business, and Carelon. For their commercial and specialty business, they are really looking at the employer-sponsored individual health plans with options such as dental, vision, and life. They also include the ACA marketplace with a big strategic emphasis on expanding the employer group coverage and the competitive digital tools and benefits design. Looking at government business, that's Medicaid, Medicare Advantage, the dual eligible special needs plans with a huge emphasis within growing the Medicare states. Carelon is delivering specific health services. There's also Carelon RX, that is their PBM, and the Carelon segment really focuses on integrating services, driving outcomes and affordability, and leveraging data and technology. On the next slide, I'll talk a little bit about the product offerings and services. Yeah, we're looking at insurance, Carelon RX, behavioral health, and analytics and digital tools, all pretty straightforward. But I guess I'll specifically speak more to their analytics and digital tools sector. They're really looking at AI-driven care to cut down costs and increase efficiencies. They've done partnerships to provide AI-driven virtual care through their digital platforms, and again, with their health data analytics to really drive these forces behind equitable and equal health care and insurance for everyone. On the next slide, speaking on the geographies and network strategy, right now the company operates in the Blue Cross Blue Shield plans within 14 states, including California, North New York, and Georgia. And they are currently expanding their presence through Medicaid and Medicare contracts within additional states to really grow the network and grow the reach and care and affordability they can give to their customers. Their network strategy really focuses on value-based care models. So they really want to improve health outcomes and reduce costs overall. They're investing a lot in digital health platforms that we spoke a little bit earlier, really wanting to enhance their member engagement, and their strategic partnerships with healthcare providers are looking to expand care delivery networks. And main competitors are some that you could probably guess: United Health Group, CVS Health and Aetna, Cigna and Humana. Their competitive advantage, though, is significant that they do have the integrated care model through their Carelon resources. They have a very strong presence in both the commercial and government sponsored plans, which is a plus for them. And their innovative digital health solutions really enhance their member experience. And I'll move it on to Matt, I believe.
Yeah, so as we continue into the financials, we continue to maintain a strong balance sheet, which will help us weather any macro and political uncertainty. And we project for 2024 a 35% debt to capital ratio, lower than 2023's of 39%, as we continue to pay off long-term debt. And our projected net working capital of 19.6 billion provides us financial flexibility to sufficiently fund operations as well as act on planned BD activities and initiatives. As we move to the income statement, we are focused on optimizing our health benefits business, including through the ongoing margin recovery of our commercial risk-based business, the strategic repositioning of our Medicare Advantage plan offerings in certain markets, and the transformation of our cost structure. And further, we are investing in our high growth opportunities with a focus on establishing a foundation for sustained long-term growth. With this, we project operating revenue increase to $177 billion in 2024, a 4.3% increase year over year. The operating expense ratio we project to hold steady at around 10% through 2028 as we become more capital efficient. And we expect net income in 2024 to be $6.2 billion, recognizing a projected $26.42 earnings per share. As we move to the cash flow statement, we will become more capital efficient as we maintain capital expenditures at about 1% of sales, in line with our historical average. And given constant confidence in our outlook, we project to take advantage of market volatility during 2024 and have decided to accelerate share repurchases, specifically projecting $1.7 billion in share repurchases in 2024. As we move to shareholder return, Over the last few years, Elevance has outperformed both the S&P 500 and the healthcare providers ETF, generating significant returns to our shareholders. And as you can see on the top right, we were supported by a strong group of shareholders who continue to believe in the Elevance story. And as such, we have been fortunate enough to reward our shareholders with dividends. And based on its historical dividend payout ratio, we project a 21.7% dividend payout ratio in 2024, and then project a 50 basis point increase year over year into 2028, where we expect to recognize a 24% dividend payout ratio. And our board has recently approved an increase in our regular dividend, marking the 13th consecutive annual dividend increase and underscoring our commitment to delivering strong results for our shareholders. I'll kick it off to the strategy.
Yeah, thanks, Matt. So just quickly outlining the two pieces or recommendations of strategy that we're going to promote for Elevance. Number one, expanding into high growth geographic markets, both domestic and international, and it'll touch a little bit on some of the capabilities that Uriah pointed out at the beginning, while also factoring in some of the financial impacts that Matt called out. And then second, Michaela will go through a potential launch of a digital first health plan for the gig economy and freelancers, where we believe that there's a very large underserved population in the United States and also potentially in the international market as well. So first outlining the expanding into the high growth geographic markets, both domestic and international. You can see here the rationale. There's three big opportunities here. So Medicaid being one of them. Elevance is already in many large U.S. states, Texas and Florida, California included as well. But really with Texas and Florida, they are underpenetrated and within their Medicaid and ACA populations. What we believe is that with upcoming contract renewals, that they can make bids on these contracts and be able to expand organically through that. We also think that they can diversify through their international expansion. So there are a few markets that you can see down here on the bottom right, Chile or Colombia within Latin America and South America, and also Indonesia and Vietnam. Both of these, we feel they have large enough populations with healthcare systems in place and or large technology advancements where through either an acquisition or a joint venture or partnering with the Carelon capabilities to create digital hybrid plans, we think that that is an excellent growth opportunity. So that would be the inorganic growth. Back to the organic growth within the domestic market, bidding on upcoming MCO contracts within the RFP cycles, and then also potentially with some M&A strategy through inorganic growth, acquiring regional players, as examples, Community Health Choice in Texas and Sunshine Health within Florida. And then also there will be some policy engagement and regulation that would be required to be able to make amends here with the MCO contracts. So how will they be able to enable this success? As I mentioned, M&A execution, acquisitions of regional players will probably be the easiest if they don't go the organic route through bidding on contracts. And then also within the international space, whether that's taking over another private insurer through a joint venture or an all-out acquisition, they will have to navigate the regulatory environment and lobby effectively because as these contracts or RFP cycles come up, there will be other large healthcare players that will be doing the same thing. Local market adaptation. So we think that some of these international markets, especially tailoring the benefits to a more tech forward, would be able to serve those populations better. And then also, as Michaela will mention, with these gig economy and freelancers, as they are so dependent on technology, that could go hand in hand. And then the operational readiness with being able to scale the IT systems, and it goes back to that technology piece again. The success metrics for this, we believe that they'll be able to have several new lives covered. The revenue contribution, the way that we would want to measure is the geographic expansion would also be able to contribute to greater than 6% of total revenue growth by year 5. And we believe that would be a successful metric versus growing our own balance sheet through whatever levers that Matt may have mentioned, or trying to invest our own funds and outperforming the S&P. Medicaid contract wins has been a hot topic there. And then also with improving margins, going back to some of the things that Matt talked about with efficiencies. I'll pass it over to Michaela for number 2.
Thanks, Tyler. So the second corporate strategy plan that we have is a digital health plan for a gig economy. A gig economy is characterized by the prevalence of short-term contracts or freelance work as opposed to permanent jobs. So there are over 60 million people in the United States who participate in this kind of work, and many of them lack access to affordable and flexible healthcare coverage. We believe Elevance can serve this population conveniently and digitally. So the product that we are suggesting is called Anthem Freelance Plan, which would be associated with Carelon Choice that Uriah mentioned earlier, one of Elevance's segments for delivery healthcare services. As shown as the infrastructure box on the right, the Carelon digital platform could be used for onboarding, care routing, and personalized benefits. And we believe AI could further this platform as well. So some of the core features would include virtual primary care, 24/7 telehealth, some behavioral health options, along with tiered pricing and optional wraparound coverage. Elevance could also further this platform by connecting with Uber. So if those freelancers are using Uber to get to work, or Upwork, which is a website for freelancers to find work. And with that, I'll go on to talk more about the success metrics, which we believe are technology integration, strategic partnerships, user experience design, and brand positioning. So you can see in the bottom half of the slide, we talk about a lot of the metrics we are going to use to develop, look at success. We'd like to reach over 100,000 members within 5 years across several states, achieve 20% year-over-year growth in gig workers and freelancers post-launch. We'd like to achieve an MLR of under 85%. And focus on a high member retention and potentially offer annual discounts. We also believe that by remaining price competitive, we hope to be the choice for gig workers and freelancers.
And I believe that wraps us up for today. So we appreciate everybody taking the time to watch and learn about the 5-year strategy plan for Elevance Health.